Hi everyone! As many of you already know, in Turkey there have been new changes in order to start with the process of new normalization in the country. And for that reason, in today's video, we're going to be explaining to you what are the new measures that the government is taking in order to start this new process. Remember that these ones are only for the month of June, and we have no idea yet what's going to happen for the months of July, August, or September. Usually, the government is announcing everything 1 or 2 days before the month is over. So, for now, we are going to tell you what are those new restrictions or measurements taken for this month, June of 2021. As well, there have been some changes regarding the PCR test, quarantine process, and also for the people who have already received both doses of their vaccine. So if you want to know all the information about this, stay here and watch this video with us. Let's start with the topic that has been intriguing us the most about the lockdowns. Well, for now, the lockdowns, especially during the Saturdays, are gone in all Turkey. We are gonna have only night lockdowns from Monday to Saturday, but this time will start from 10 p.m. to 5 in the morning. And when it comes to Sundays, we will still have the full lockdowns during Sundays. But this, remember that this only applies for the Turkish citizens and for residents, not for tourists. So if you're here in the country with a tourist visa, then you can freely move in Istanbul or within other cities. You don't have to worry about this. The second important point, and this one is very important, I think, for everyone, is about the restaurants. Well, as you can see, we're sitting at the restaurant right now, so that is a good news for everybody. So right now, the restaurants, cafes, tea gardens, and even pubs, they are open already. So people can sit to dine in and with no problem. But restaurants will be open only from Monday to Saturday from 7 in the morning to 9 p.m. After 9 p.m., the places will be offering only takeaway and delivery services until 12 in the morning. And for Sundays, the restaurants will be closed. They won't be offering the service for dining, but they will still give in the takeaway and delivery services throughout the Sunday. About the malls, now the shopping malls are open as well, but only on Sundays will be closed. Why? Because there is a lockdown already for Turkish citizens and for residents, so there is no point that the shopping malls will be open. But also when it comes to the most touristic attractions such as museums in Sultanahmet and other areas, you don't really have to worry because those places will remain open even on Sundays. So you can go there, even visit mosques and other places, and you won't have any restriction at all. The only recommendation that we give you is that if you can go ahead and check in their official website, because sometimes due to these restrictions, the timings of opening and closing times are changing for those days. So you can just go ahead and check in the official website, which we will be sharing in the description box. When it comes to the weekdays, of course, all places are open already, but still some museums, they close 1 day a week. But this is not because of the COVID restrictions. Actually, this has been since always. They have 1 day off, let's say, for example, Monday or Tuesday. That's why we're just telling you to go and check in the official website so you can take a look what museums are closed what days. Some of you have also asked me, what about the transportation, especially during the lockdown days? Well, for that also you don't have to worry at all. I mean, you will be able to keep using the transportation, bus, tram, metro, ferries. The only thing is that the time that they pass or they operate reduces a bit. So that's why, let's imagine if you used to normally for a bus we wait for 5 or 10 minutes, now maybe for Sundays you might have to wait 15 or 20 minutes for one bus. The time changes as well, but there is still public transportation available. Now I will explain to you one of the most important points that you need to keep an eye on, because as I told you at the beginning of this video, there have been some changes as well regarding the PCR test, quarantine process, and also about vaccinated people. So let's go with the first point when it comes to the PCR test. Now, passengers departing from these countries, which are Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Brazil, South Africa, India, Nepal, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka, And all of those passengers who have been in those countries for the last 14 days before arriving to Turkey, they will have to submit a negative PCR test 72 hours before entering to Turkey. And as well, you will need to quarantine for 14 days. And in the 14th day, you will have to do another PCR test. And if the PCR test is negative, then you will keep going on with your travel. But in this case, you don't need to, because some people have also asked me, well, if my PCR test is already negative, do I have to quarantine? Well, actually the text is pretty much clear. It says end quarantine. So yes, you will need to fulfill both requirements. You will need the negative PCR test and quarantine for 14 days. So now you will need to keep an eye on that new requirement if you come from any of these countries. Now, passengers departing as well from the United Kingdom, Iran, Egypt, and Singapore, as well, they are again being requested to submit a negative PCR test 72 hours before entering to Turkey. If you're not coming from any of the countries that we previously mentioned, then you don't have to submit a negative PCR test if you have already been vaccinated. And for this, you will need to show the vaccine certification where you have already received the second dose at least 14 days before entering Turkey. Also, for those passengers that have had the disease and cured within the last 6 months, will not need to present a PCR test. In case that you cannot prove that you have already been vaccinated or that you have had the disease before entering to Turkey, then it will be more than enough to show a negative PCR test or a rapid antigen test. And for these two, remember that it has to be done within the 72 hours before entering to Turkey. In case that you want to check this information through official links, we highly recommend you to do it through your embassies, because also they already have this information updated. But in case that you also want to check it through our video, then we will be leaving the official link of Turkish Airlines. And for that, after you finish watching this video, just click on the title and then you will see the description box. We will be sharing it right there. We have also received many questions when it comes to the quarantine facilities here in Istanbul. And for that, to be honest, we have been looking through many websites about that, and we haven't found any concrete information, like probably where they are or the fees or anything like that. So if any of you have already passed through this process, coming from any of these countries, and you have had to quarantine here in Turkey, we will appreciate if you could share this information with us, so others that will come to Turkey and will also have to quarantine, they can learn about it as well. We will truly appreciate that. So these were all the restrictions that will be taking place during the month of June. And if you want to keep updated, we will highly recommend you to follow us through our Instagram, where we usually share everything through our stories as soon as we have any updates. So thanks a lot for watching our video, and we will see you on the next video. Bye bye.